So I just got to see the new film, The Holdovers. It's a film directed by Alexander Payne, and it stars Paul Giamatti and Dominic Sessa. And it is maybe the best Christmas movie I have seen in years. So Alexander Payne is a director that I had never really been aware of. I had heard of some of his movies, but I had never seen any of them. I recently sat down and watched all of them, including The Holdovers, because I'm going to be making a video on all of them very soon. And Alexander Payne's movies are really kind of warm. They're really, they focus on characters that feel really real, and characters who are definitely flawed. They're flawed, but they're positioned in a way for the audience that you really care about them and you really root for them and love them, but none of them are morally perfect in any way, shape, or form. These are always damaged characters who are experiencing something in their life. And this movie is no different, as we follow two characters mainly. And Paul Giamatti's teacher character, I can't really 100% remember his name, but Paul Giamatti's character in this movie is this teacher at this boarding school. He's a really kind of nasty guy. All the kids hate him. He's, if you've ever, you see all these people joking, how often do you think about the Roman Empire? This guy thinks about the Roman Empire every second of his day. Every other word out of his mouth is comparing, the real events happening in the movie to something that the Romans did. But he's really just this nasty, lonely guy, and he has to take care over Christmas break of the kids who had nowhere to go during Christmas break. They couldn't go home. They call them the Holdovers, and he has to stay at the school and watch them. And the main character we follow from the kids is Dominic Sessa's character, Angus. Another troubled kid who, his family has kind of abandoned him. He has some really dark and sad stuff that's happened to him. He's kind of a bad boy, kind of a jackass, but we now have this weird clashing of personalities at this incredible location in this amazing time setting, and we get a really, really warm, funny, dramatic, sad, and visually stunning movie. And a movie that I ultimately think is one of the best movies of the year, and I think maybe Alexander Payne's best film that I've seen. This is an incredible film. First thing I want to say is Paul Giamatti is so good. I mean, he's good in everything he does, and one of the most underrated actors working today. I mean, did you see him in The Amazing Spider-Man 2? How he did not win an Oscar for the Rhino, I'll never understand. But in all seriousness, he really is an incredible, incredible actor, and there is nothing different about that, that statement when it comes to this movie. This may be his best performance, and it might be an Oscar winner for him. He is so amazing in this film, both at selling the nasty teacher, this annoying teacher that everybody hates, as well as this really lonely, sad dude that really has this strong intelligence to him. He's such a smart and interesting guy, but he's got these two halves, this kind of asshole persona that he puts up because he believes, it's almost kind of like Fletcher in Whiplash, he believes it's the right way to teach these kids and prepare them for the future, but you also have just this warmer, lonely side, and you kind of understand how he's become this way. Some of the stuff that's happened to him, both, sad stuff that he caused himself, just a bunch of different things, and you really grow to kind of appreciate his character. You almost can't, you want the camera to always be on his character because he's so much fun to watch, and he's so engaging for the audience. And when it comes to Angus, earlier in the movie, I thought his character was kind of annoying and dull, and I didn't exactly love it, but as the movie goes on, you grow to love Angus and really care for him and completely understand his position on things. He is such a great character. His relationship with Paul Giamatti's character and the way that it evolves over the course of the film is just so beautiful, and probably easily the best part of the film, and definitely the focus of the script here. We also have the character Mary, played by Divine Joy Randolph, and Mary is one of the best characters in this movie. She has a really great story here, a really great story arc, and it's definitely one of the big heart pullers of the film, and this movie is really all about that. It's about heart. The film is definitely trying to get you to feel something, not just the joy of the holiday season, not just a lot of the laughs that you get from some of the comedy, but it really wants you to feel the emotion. It really wants you to make you cry. It wants to make you sad. It wants to make you happy. It wants you to go through the entire emotional journey that these characters are going to, and that's what I think a lot of Alexander Payne's movies do. It really studies the emotions of real human beings, and that's really what this film does extremely well. It studies those emotions in a way that feels so real and engaging. If I did have any complaints about the movie, any cons, I do think the movie drags on a little bit too long, and I use the word drag there, but it really doesn't drag. I feel like this movie could have been maybe 15 to 20 minutes shorter. It got to a point where it felt like it was being a little bit too repetitive in a lot of its themes and its acts, and some of the stuff that it was going through felt like they could have cut a little bit of the fat off. But at the same time, the movie is a masterpiece. It is a very incredible movie. It's one of the best movies of the year easily, and it's a movie that I could recommend to just about anybody because of how well made it is and how enjoyable it is to watch. The movie also looks tremendous. It has this style that they're clearly trying to capture, like this old visual style of Hollywood in the film, both with its sound and with its cinematography, but the cinematography here is beautiful. I mean, the way that the snow looks, and they balance balance the whites of the snow and the buildings, and the costume design is actually really cool too. It kind of fits the timing. I love the uniforms that everybody wears at the school. The school as a whole, the production design of it was definitely, it kind of reminded me of when I went to school. I didn't go to boarding school, but I did go to a private school, and it kind of reminded me of some of that, so it gave me some weird nostalgia there. And ultimately, this movie gave me a lot of nostalgia for some reason, and I can't really exactly be sure why, but it made me feel really warm and reminded me of my childhood for some weird reason. But ultimately, I was completely satisfied by this movie. I loved essentially the entire thing. The movie made me emotional, it made me laugh, it made me happy. Paul Giamatti gives one of the best performances of the year, and ultimately, this movie is a 5 out of 5 because it's a great movie. I can't give it any less than that. So do you guys see The Holdovers? If you did, let me know what you thought down below. Make sure to like this video and subscribe for more, and I will see you guys in the next video.